Hello, everybody. It is Friday and day 4 of the August Go Live in August challenge. Today, I'm going to talk about the first of my 5 steps to taking your business to the next level, whether that's 5 to 6 figures or 6 to 7 figures. And my first step is, what's your why? What's my why? Everybody's why is different, but in order to move our businesses forward, we have to know our why. We have to become crystal clear on what our why is. So why are we all doing this? What's in it for all of us? We have to know what our why is in order to move forward. So do you know your why? During times of change, and we all go through times of change, if you watched yesterday, I talked about construction and how our business is always under construction and it's always in times of change. So in times of change, we might become lost. We might not become crystal clear on our new goals, or we work towards becoming clear on our new goals. But in times of change, we've got to decide what we're going for next, what our goals are. And our goals need to have the deadline so we reach those goals. But anyway, our passion might take a dive. We might need to start, or we might not need to, but we probably start questioning ourselves on if we're worth it as entrepreneurs, what's happened, why do we need to change? We have other talents, but we really need to dig deep during this time and find out what those talents are during this time of change. So there really isn't a direct path to discover what our life's purpose is, but we can take a deep look at ourselves and find out really what makes us ignite, because wherever that passion is, that's where we're going to discover what our why is. And our why is what makes us move. And once we figure out that why, the how comes, and it all comes into place. So I'm going to ask a few questions, and that'll help you figure out your why. And you might come up with other questions to help you figure out your why, but here's a couple that I've written down and thought about, and hopefully they'll help you. So one of the questions is, what are your distinctive strengths? So one of my distinctive strengths growing up was I love sports. Sports took me out of my shell because I was really shy growing up. And we're talking a long time ago. And this was before sports were select sports where you had to play sports in grade school or you couldn't make the high school team. I never touched a volleyball before I got into high school. And I ended up being a very good volleyball player, even though I was only 5'2". So I was a setter and a defensive player, and I absolutely loved volleyball. I played other sports. Basketball I was not so great at. I played softball and track. But anyway, it was sports that really took me out of my shell when I was growing up. And I really wanted to become a physical education teacher. And the nuns in school talked me out of it. I let them talk me out of it, partly because of my self-esteem, but they said, oh, you'll never make any money. You're not smart enough to do that. And so I listened to them. And so I didn't go to school to become a phys ed teacher. So what I did was I wandered around like aimlessly through college, and I took so many credit hours without ever graduating. And I have more credit hours truly to this day that I could have had 3 degrees. And I have no degree because I never knew what I wanted to do because I didn't follow my dream. So follow your dream. Don't let that happen to you. If you find out what you want to do, do it. Don't let someone else talk you out of what you want to do. If you have that passion so deep inside of you to do something, do it. Don't let somebody else talk you out of it. You're good enough to do it and strong enough to do what you want. So go ahead and do it and ignite your passion to do it. And then we are in our element also when we use our natural talents to do something and our skills meet our personal passion. It's known that when people are in their natural element, they're more productive, they have more personal and professional satisfaction, and they tend to make more money. So do what you want to do, and that's going to be one step closer to setting your goals and knowing your why. And my second question is, where do you add your greatest value? What's one of your greatest values that you add? Focus on where you're most likely to succeed, and then find the greatest sense of accomplishment in your contribution. So one of my goals is that I like to bring laughter to people when I'm talking or when I'm working or when I'm out having fun. And so when I give my speeches, like I said, I'm becoming a professional speaker, and I really like to add some humor into my speeches when I'm talking. But when I get in front of the camera, a lot of times I just freeze, and I don't know why, because it's called that perfectionism thing that you think you have to do when you're in front of people, especially people you don't know. Everything's got to be perfect, but no one's perfect. And so I don't know why I feel like I have to be, but I'm trying to bring in more humor into my speeches. And one of my friends said, Colleen, you are so funny when you're around your friends. Why don't you just loosen up and just say it like you want to say it, and people will relate to you more. So that's one thing I'm trying to do. So my goal is to bring humor into my talks, and that's one of my greatest values. So think about what your greatest value is and bring that to the table, and that'll help you figure out your why also. And then, how do you want to measure your life? When everything's said and done, how do you want people to remember you, or how do you want to think about your life when you're older? Is it going to be success in business, or is it going to be more about your family life? Is it going to be being kind, or making it big, making it to the top? What's going to matter to you most when everything is said and done? So think about that for your why. And then another one is, what inspires you so much and gives you such passion when you pay attention to those types of activities that your impact and influence grows, that are out of this world? So what is it that does that for you when you are thinking about it and helps you make your why? That's another question to ask yourself when you're asking yourself about your why. And then, what areas in your life will improve when you figure out and become really clear on your why? Like for me right now, I have debt to pay from my business in the past. I was in a bad partnership with someone, and I'm still paying off that bad partnership debt. We have work to do around our house, which I can't wait to start doing that kind of work around my house. I have a goal this winter. I want to rent a condo on the beach for a month and spend 2 weeks working there and 2 weeks having fun. So those are some of my goals for my why. What's getting me out of bed in the morning and what's getting me to work, either if it's down in your office that you have to go down 2 flights of steps to get there, or if you are, you drive to your office, whatever it is for you. Think about that for when you go to work and what your why is. And then, everybody's why is different. My why isn't your why. What makes you take off the covers and put your feet on the bed every morning? Friedrich Nietzsche, he once said, "He who has a why can endure anyhow." Knowing your why is an important first step in figuring out how to achieve the goals that excite you and create a life you enjoy living versus merely surviving. I found that quote and I absolutely love it. So your why pushes you when you cannot even push yourself. Every day you don't have to say yes to your dreams. You push your dreams back 6 months or a year longer whenever you don't say yes to your dreams. Do what you say you're going to do 90% of the time or more, and you are going to succeed. So what's your why? Is it a resort in Bali? Is it a Mediterranean cruise? Is it just doing a staycation at home for you for right now? Whatever your why is, make sure that you're doing the things and setting the goals so that it's going to come true sooner than later. Because really all we have is today, and making things start now. Don't wait. So this is Colleen, and I talked about what's your why today. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about hiring a coach, my second step in the 5 steps to reaching and making your business grow to the next level. I would love to hear what your why is, or if you have any questions on how to reach your why, send them in the comments here and I'd love to answer them. Let's start a chat, a conversation. Share it with me, and until next time, you have a great Friday evening. Take care. Bye.